of wood with a damn wrench. Yeah, it works. You can bam, bam, bam and hit it with the wrench, but after a while you're gonna tap your damn wrench. I don't understand why you're not maximizing the abilities of Joel Embiid, and this ties right into football. We keep talking about it is a passing game. We've heard the NFL is a passing game. The NFL is a passing game for the last 2 seasons. Or for the last 8 weeks of this season. It's a passing league. It's a passing league. It's a passing league. The weather turn, and those same people, the Chris Carters of the world, all those guys. I don't even know if they're saying on ESPN. I just keep hearing Chris Carter and a bunch of other guys. But now all of a sudden, those same guys have changed the tune to, if you ain't got no running game, you ain't gonna win. Please help me understand how that works. Because just because it's cold outside, you need to run, or is it football you need to run? You need to have a balanced attack, because it's easy to shut down a balanced attack when you don't. So, speaking of balanced attacks, there's been an assault on one of my favorite coaches in the late National Football League. Goes by the name of Mike Tomlin. 76ers head coach is rebuilding coach, not a championship coach, a winning head coach. Fact. Big L, we back on the agreement train. I ain't mad at you, my brother. I agree. I don't even know if he's a rebuilding head coach, but he's not getting it done, because at some point you need to time to change the 76ers head coach. I agree with you, because there's no way in hell you don't get Joel Embiid the ball as much as possible. Forcing Ben Simmons to work on his jump shot, forcing Jimmy Butler to be a third-tier player like he is. I'm sorry. Those who love Jimmy Butler, God bless you. I'm not one of those people. Big-time basketball player. He's pretty good in the clutch, but he's a third-tier player at best. He worked his way into this, and because we've lost the concept of naming tiers for players, we have lost perspective into where Jimmy Butler fits. You cannot build a basketball team around Jimmy Butler, but you can do it for Embiid and Simmons. Jimmy Butler is not a cornerstone of the franchise guy. He's a piece of the franchise guy. He's a glorified Michael Cooper. I'm sorry. But with that being said, there's been an attack on one of my favorite coaches in the National Football League. Goes by the name of Mike Tomlin. Now, we have Mike Tomlin has lost control of the team. We always hear Mike Tomlin has lost control of the football team. But somehow, some way, by default or not, he keeps winning football games. And I'm trying to figure out, if he's lost control, how do they keep winning? One of the problems is your boy Big Ben Roethlisberger. What I want to know is this. Soon, and very soon, we will see this. There will be a brash, young, cocky Nubian that comes to the National Football League. He is going to be the T.O./Odell Beckham Jr. of quarterbacks. Let's see if he gets the same treatment that Faker Mayfield and Broke Ben Roethlisberger gets. Because the last time I checked, I'm not one to stick up for nobody who don't need to be defended. But I don't hear Tom Brady. I didn't hear John Elway. I didn't hear any of these big time quarterbacks that they've lauded over for the last 30 years ever one time come out and knock a player. I never heard that. And Ben Roethlisberger consistently shoots down his players, and everybody has a problem with all this me. Remember, Antonio Brown was the grandson of the devil when he went live on Facebook Live. Ben is on the downside. Ben is on the overrated side, Big L. Because, as I keep saying on my show week after week, once Joey Porter, James Harrison, and Troy Polamalu and Ryan Clark relinquished the lead, the reins of the team and handed them to Ben Roethlisberger, you haven't seen Ben Roethlisberger do a damn thing but throw interceptions in big time positions. And since everybody like to quote stats, how about this as a stat for you? 30 touchdowns, 24 interceptions in his playoff career. 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions in his 3 times going to the Super Bowl. That is a 1 interception. That is a 1 touchdown per game average. Talk to me. Ben Roethlisberger is overrated. Ben Roethlisberger has done the least with the most. Joe from Houston finna slap me in my mouth on here, but it's only two other quarterbacks that I've seen do as little with as much as Ben Roethlisberger, and that is Peyton Manning and that is Brett Favre. If we read the resume of the Peyton Manning teammates and the resume of the Brett Favre teammates and the resume of the Ben Roethlisberger teammates, the fact that this dude has only won 2 Super Bowls and cannot figure out how to beat Brady is beyond me. But guess what? Somehow, some way, the dude the second most hated quarterback in recent history that wins games, Joe Flacco, figures out a way to kick Brady's ass on a regular basis. Explain that to me. Everybody want to stick up for Big Ben. Big Ben is part of the problem, not part of the solution. You want to say, y'all want to give an attack on Mike Tomlin and kick him in his ass, but guess what? Let's go to the top of the food chain. Why are y'all arguing one of the best players in the NFL and one of the best top 5 players in the NFL in the last 5 years by the name of Le'Veon Bell about money? We can't trust him. But y'all gave it to the pussy crook. Peyton didn't win a game. I'm not saying that he didn't win a game, but he couldn't figure out how to beat Brady too. But somehow, some way, Flugo does it. Somehow, some way, Eli does it. He's retarded, and Joe. I think that was Shaka told me don't say retarded. One of y'all told me don't say retarded. But somehow, some way, Eli, who's challenged, and Joe Flacco, who's a bum, they figure out ways to consistently beat Brady. But these greats can't. How's that possible? How is that possible? But this dude is the man. I don't understand that. And then they keep telling me about Pittsburgh Steelers defense ain't what it used to be. Look it up. Go to footballreference.com. Look up the Pittsburgh Steelers defense over the last 10 years. Do they make mistakes? Maybe they making mistakes due to fatigue. Because every time you look up Ben Roethlisberger, when it counts, throwing interceptions. And he's throwing interceptions on both sides of the 50. So when you give Peyton Manning, when you give any good quarterback, no matter what his name is, a short field to work with, there's a good chance that they're going to score on you. And we see Ben Roethlisberger do it on a regular basis. Don't nobody want to talk about this dude coming off the bench throwing interceptions against them sorry-ass Raiders. Don't nobody want to talk about him throwing interceptions against them sorry-ass Browns at the beginning of the year. Don't nobody want to talk about all these interceptions he threw. He has 3 games in the last 365 days with 5 interceptions. And Jameis Winston is a bum? Come on, man. But everybody's singing the praises of Big Ben Roethlisberger because he's standing there and he's hard to tackle. He's going to make it happen. Yeah, he's going to make it happen for the other team. But Mike Tomlinson, he ain't got control of it. Hell yeah. See, one of the things that kill me about these stat quoters is the Pittsburgh Steelers defense ain't what it used to be. Yeah, the offense ain't what it used to be either. The offense ain't what it used to be either because guess what? The quarterbacks didn't used to throw it to what's his name? Bill Cowher didn't let Ben Roethlisberger throw it that much. Willie Park and Jerome Bettis control the situation. They control the situation. Everybody last week, that was one of Ben Roethlisberger's best games of the season because he ain't throwing interception. So it took you to week 16 not to throw an interception against a quality team. I ain't trying to hear that, man. But I literally heard people say this will be a disappointing season if the Pittsburgh Steelers don't win the Super Bowl. But guess who I didn't hear that about? My man Mike Zim up there in Minnesota. Because a little more than at the beginning of this year, after them losing, I heard the Minnesota Vikings are a quarterback away. And they gave some bum $82 million or $80-some million to be the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. That was the only position they needed. They had a great running back, Latavius Murray and Dalvin Cook. They had great wide receivers. The white boy and my man on the damn commercial. Tell me his name. Cooks or Books or whatever the hell his name is. Daquan Cook. Or is that his name? I think that's his name. They got Rudolph. So they got the players in place to be successful. Because usually y'all tell me that the quarterback ain't good because he ain't got no damn weapons. But he got a weapon, and he got one or two weapons at every position. This dude got some of the best hands in football, but Kirk Cousins get there. And if you want to look up some Kirk Cousins bloopers like I did this week. There's a game this season that Kirk Cousins, the pressure came on him. He literally turned around. He shook off a quarterback. He shook off a defender and turned his back to the offensive lineman and threw it to a running back. Backward. He threw it away from the line of scrimmage. So, but that's not a disappointment. So the Minnesota Vikings, I've heard one time, if they've said it and I missed it, I stand corrected, but not one time have I heard the Minnesota Vikings will have a disappointing season. Not one time. With all that, their best running back was on the team. Their best running back is on the team. Stephon Diggs, that's his name. Diggs is on the team. Kyle Rudolph on the team. The white boy is being considered one of the best receivers in the league. Dude from Minnesota. The offensive line has been intact, and I'm not trying to hit that bullshit about that's not a wasted season. Guess what? The Pittsburgh Steelers' best player is not playing. I never agreed with the Kirk Cousins deal. He's slightly above average. I want the Vikings to keep Teddy Bridgewater. Any Viking fan, I see RC in the building, any Viking fan on earth would agree with that. Because Teddy Bridgewater, contrary to popular belief, all but won a playoff game. Drove them down the field in the freezing cold against the motherfucking mighty Seattle Seahawks, and the kicker couldn't do his job. Not Teddy Bridgewater's fault. I'm not trying to hit. Cousins is a bum. Washington seeing that, and Minnesota paid a bum. Big L in the building, dropping knowledge. I totally agree. But it is just amazing to me that, see, this is why I stay with the racial shit. And I'm proud to be who I am. I'm proud of being in our community. I'm proud to be a brother, soul brother, Nubian brother, black man, or whatever the hell you want to call it, more, whatever we gonna call ourselves this week, I'm down. But this is why I stay on the racial shit, man, because Zimmerman was a couple minutes away from the damn Super Bowl, needed a quarterback, allegedly got one, and then it didn't work. Tomlin is a wasted season. Get the hell out of here, man. Get the hell out of here, man. And then it goes another thing. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has been the most consistent football player in the National Football League this season on the offensive side of the ball. The most consistent. I heard, this is why I really hate listening to the man on the radio stations and stuff like that. I got distracted by my man RC. Your QB is a bum too. Boy, that is 1,000% facts. You talk about overrated. But that's another conversation. But back to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has consistently been one of the best offensive football weapon in the game today. The best offensive. I actually heard on 2 different stations riding with my people, the jackass Colin Cowherd, and then another one of these dickheads say he was in a perfect situation. See, he had big time receivers, big time tight end, big time running back, good offensive line, blah blah blah. What really annoyed the hell out of me with that was this: last year that same team had those same players. Benjamin ass is always hurt. So the fact that they had the same team last year and the offense didn't look half as good lets me know, get the hell out of here. Andrew Luck is the only quarterback in the last few years that didn't inherit a perfect situation. You were talking about perfect situations. How about Jackson, LT, Gates, offensive line? Marty Schottenheimer is a great coach. You know, this dude's talking about he had the perfect coach. He even had a chance to sit on the bench for a year. So did Phillip Rivers. So did Tom Brady. See, people like to remember what they want to remember. Tom Brady was a passenger on those first 2 Super Bowl championships. He wasn't on nothing. You can see the intangibles, but he was not a big time player. The third one, I'm going to give it to him. I give it to him. He started coming to his own then.